Well, hey guys, and welcome to another episode. This one is brought to you from my kitchen/living room because the weather outside is pretty crap, and I was going to do this down the beach, but unfortunately the weather gods are not in our favor today. Anyway, before we get into this episode, I want to show you this. This is the latest from the Swords clothing line. It is a face cover and it is sick. If you live somewhere like I do, where you are required to wear a face covering whenever you go out anywhere in public, into not restaurants, into supermarkets or anywhere like that, and you need one of these, then you should go to swords.com right now, pick up one of these. I believe they are $15. They are reusable, you wash them, they're made in America, they're fully custom. I have little tiny ears, and these fit so nice, they don't dig in like those elastic band ones that you can get. And it looks pretty sweet. I really love these. So yeah, if you're looking for a cool face mask that doesn't make you look like a drongo wearing it, then you should go and cop yourself one of these. I also noticed earlier, as I was sat here, that it also doubles up as an Apple carrier. So if you're looking for a face mask / Apple carrier, then I've got you covered. I only charge you for one of those products, so you buy the face mask, you get the Apple carrier for free, which it does work, honest. Somebody asked me, is it a certified medical equipment doodad malarkey? Here's what I'll say, don't try and do open heart surgery in it, okay? If you need to cover your face while you're out in public, this is definitely the thing for you. If you're gonna do some open heart surgery, then probably look for something a little bit more industrial. This episode was a fun one. I went down to San Diego to pick up a new car for my dog. That's right, I bought a car for my dog. The reason being, Diesel has got a little habit at the moment, and Diesel's little habit is the fact that he likes to throw up in the back of cars. And so he's thrown up in Katie's car like 4 times, he's thrown up in my Z3 a couple of times, and I just decided that it would be a fun opportunity for me to get a car that I'm quite happy for him to go in the back of. It can be the dog snotter, it can be gross, I can just use it as like a utilitarian car, but I had a few criteria. It had to be around about $500 to $1,000. It had to be a diesel because the dog's name's Diesel. I love diesels. I thought that'd be cool. And it had to have the ability for me to modify it and kind of turn it into my own thing. So I didn't just want some beat up old Honda or something like that. I wanted something with a bit of character that I could work with. And so when I narrowed down my search, I ended up on the W123 Mercedes from the 1980s. So the 240D and the 300D were the 2 diesel models that they did. It was the E-Class. So I have that E-Class down there that's turning into a race car. That's from the late 90s. And now I'm looking at the early 80s car. So I find one in Lake Elsinore. Me and Micah, the Hollywood mechanic, go and check it out. And it was a bit rough. There was an engine swap that had been done at some point. Rats had chewed through wires. The interior wasn't very good. It just wasn't great. I don't mind putting in a bit of work into this car. Obviously, for the money, I'm going to have to. But it just wasn't the one. And when we priced up all of the parts, it was going to be like $1,500 just to get it back on the road. So there, hello doggo, hello. So there goes all of my planning and budget and all the rest of it. So I kept looking, and I actually found one down in San Diego, which was for $500. It had been sat for a year because the gearbox had gone out, but the guy had owned it for 20 years. His kids had learned to drive in it. It was a great opportunity to buy a car that had been with the same family for a long time. Typically, if you keep a car for that long, it's not a lemon, it's treated you well, and he fell on hard times, and that's why he was selling it, unfortunately. So what I did is I spoke to the guy in Lake Elsinore who had a parts car that he had swapped the engine out of. He sold me his gearbox, pedals, drive shaft, and flywheel from that parts car. And what I was planning on doing was driving down to San Diego to pick up the car down there that had the blown automatic transmission, and then I would swap in the manual gearbox, and then I've got this cool car that's got some history to it with a gearbox that I know is pretty good that I can do a bit of a refresher on, and there we have it. For $600 I've got myself a good little runaround and a base to start building something for this little vomit comet down here. So that's where we're going to pick up. I am in the truck, in the U-Haul, driving down to San Diego on my way to pick up that Mercedes. All right guys, well I'm headed down to San Diego at the moment to go and look at and hopefully pick up a Mercedes 240D that I've found. It belonged to a couple for 20 years. They taught their kids to drive in it, and then last year the gearbox gave up and I just don't think they've got the money to repair it, so they put it up for sale. And I saw it on Craigslist, so I'm gonna go and grab it. I found a gearbox that belonged to a car that we found in Lake Elsinore, so Micah and I went out to check out this car. The one that I was looking at was no good. It was just going to cost too much in parts to actually get it back on the road, but the guy did have a spare parts car, and that car came with a manual gearbox. So this one in San Diego is an auto, and what I've done is contacted the guy in Lake Elsinore, and I'm buying the gearbox from him, from his donor car, and we're going to do a manual swap. So I will have a manual swapped 240D from 1982. It's got some rust, it's a bit rough, but it's a car for the dog, so that's the whole purpose of it. Doesn't matter, I've got some plans for it, it should be quite cool, and most importantly, I think the whole thing is going to cost me less than $1,000 to do, so it's going to be a really fun budget project, and like I said, don't expect anything glamorous, but it will be cool. So yeah, excited about seeing that. So we're just driving down to San Diego now. I'm in the U-Haul, I've got the tow dolly behind me, and hopefully in about an hour and a half, I should be driving back up with a new Mercedes. Well, a new old Mercedes. Look, there's two big boobies. It's a bit chilly, is it? Alrighty, we are here. So I think what I'm actually gonna do, because it's somebody's house, I'm not gonna film when I first get there. I'm gonna check out the car, so I'll pick up with you guys in a second once I know that they're okay with me filming, and yeah, we'll see if this Mercedes is gonna be the one for the dog. All right, here she is. What a beauty. So this is my new Mercedes diesel. So I now am the proud owner of 2.5 Mercedes diesels. This one, the E300, and then the engine out of the old E300 RIP. So we just got to strap it up, and then there's a bit of work to be done, but you know, it's $500, so what's the worst thing that can happen, right? Well, I've got the car, and she is definitely a little bit crispy. It's going to need a bit of work. He said that he just had to fill up the radiator to start it, so there's obviously a leak somewhere. So that's fine, because we actually went to look at the one in Lake Elsinore, and that was going to need new radiator, it was going to need new everything. Look! It's another Mercedes! Yoo-hoo! What's up, buddy? I got one of them! Haha! Oh, he's got the turbo diesel, the 300 CD. He's a rich boy. You wouldn't buy one of those for $500. But anyway, yeah, so the one in Lake Elsinore needed a radiator too. Mike has priced it all up, so it's not that expensive. I think a new radiator was like $100 or something, so it won't be too bad. The bodywork needs some attention, but I am an amateur body workist, so I will make good-ish of that. And then, like I said, it's getting spray painted matte black anyway, so the purpose of this car is not that it's going to end up being some like super fancy mint Mercedes. It's the fact that it's a $500 Mercedes that I carry my dog around in, and with a few extra pennies and a bit of elbow grease, I'm going to make it cool and unique and something that is my car and not just anyone's car. So that's the kind of purpose with this. I know you guys probably watch YouTube videos where people are buying Ferraris and McLarens and stuff and putting off the shelf parts on them, and that's fine, and don't get me wrong, if I had a Lamborghini I would probably be doing the same thing. I wouldn't be spray painting it matte black, but I think stuff like this has its merit, and I think stuff like this is fun to do and fun to see, so definitely excited about seeing how it turns out. There is a crack in the exhaust manifold, and I'm like, I wonder if I should just get like 4 exhaust pipes made up that just go straight out the bonnet, and that would be cool. So yeah, there's potential with this car, that's what I'll say. She has a lot of potential. Her name is Sadie, apparently, so I think I might keep that. It's kind of cool. Sadie the Swords car, Sword Sadie. So yeah, we'll do some work on it, I've actually just spoken to Micah. I'm not taking it to him today. I'm going to take it back home and I'm probably going to give it a wash and actually see just what it looks like. So once all of the cobwebs are all knocked off it, vacuum out the interior, clear out all the crap, and then see what we're left with. And then from there, we can make a decision on just how much work it's going to need. But yeah, I'm excited. I love stuff like this. Like, I absolutely love making crappy things better or cooler or just even a little bit nicer. So yeah, very excited about that. She's towing nicely, cruising along here at 55, and we should be home in about 40 minutes. So I will see you back at the house with a bucket of water, a sponge, and some Clean Freaks cleaning products. Shameless plug, they didn't pay for that sponsorship, but you're welcome, Clean Freaks. You guys make good products, so you can have that one for free. So I got it home and decided to bust out the pressure washer to see exactly what it was that I was dealing with. Obviously it had more rust than I first anticipated, which is fine. My old Mercedes back in England had some rust and I did a pretty good job of treating that. So, and at the end of the day, it's not going to be a show car. That's not the purpose of this car. I don't even think I'm going to fix the dents in the fenders. I think I'm going to just leave them. That's the whole point, is that it has character. lots and lots of character. And lots of rust. But that's fine. Mostly character. So here's what I know. The fuel pressure gauge is working, or level. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's pressure, maybe it's level. It looks like level, right? The temperature gauge may or may not be working, but I've only just started the car, so who knows. The fuel gauge may or may not be working, who knows. It's reading low, and that's probably right. Now, this definitely isn't working. The clock, I don't know how... Yeah, the clock seems to be working. That's pretty cool. So I've given it all like a bit of a clean, just a very brief one, because I want to go over this thing properly. It's pretty nasty, so I want to get in there and like clean out all of the floors and really kind of go at it. I took those disgusting covers off, and the seats underneath, although they're pretty dirty, I actually had a go at this one. So this one was worse than that one. So look at that, and now look at that. So this is just with cleaner. I haven't conditioned these. I haven't done the back either, so you can kind of see like how gross this is. Yeah, gross. Ah, clean. Yeah, gross. Ah, clean. So I'm gonna do a proper detail video. Wow, this lens has got some smudge on it. Hold on. So I'm going to do a proper detail video because this deserves it. What I'm going to do is take it to Micah's shop, and I'm going to do it there, and I'm going to have all the seats out probably, so I can give them a good clean and also get to the carpet, because I do want to pull the carpet out and give it a steam clean, because it's pretty grotty. And even though this is going to be the dog snotter, I want to show you what is possible on a budget if you're willing to spend a bit of time, because all this is going to take is a bit of time and a bit of elbow grease to make it really nice, to make it nice. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I need to get him to fix the sunroof. It would be nice to have a sunroof, for sure. But overall, now that I've cleaned it, now that I've got an air freshener in it, much more confident that this is going to be actually quite a nice car to drive. Before I was a bit like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be the junk car that is going to be disgusting to drive in. But now I'm like, these seats are quite comfy. I've got this Nardi steering wheel that I'm going to do a refurbish on as well. Like, this could be cool. This could be actually more luxe than I expected. I think I'm going to convert the back strictly for diesel. So because he likes to throw up in cars, I might put some like vinyl in there and essentially take the back seats out and make him his own little spot, so that it's like dialed in nice. because realistically I'm not going to want to take passengers. They can sit right seat or they can drive themselves. So yeah, overall, now that I'm kind of sat in it and I've done a bit of cleaning and I've kind of got to know the car a bit, I'm chuffed. It's yeah, it's fun. There we go. That is the update for the car on day one. I've got to get it over to Micah's to get the gearbox in. The engine's running and it sounds pretty good. I mean, it's peppy enough. 68 horsepower or something. So yeah, just brilliant fun, really good fun. It kind of shows what you can do on a shoestring budget and still make something really cool, and I've not even started yet. So there you have it. That is the Dog Snotter. I'm super excited about what's in store for this car. I'm taking it up to Micah's this week to go and have the gearbox fitted, and then it'll be fun just to drive it around and get a feel for the car. Then what I'm going to do is start modifying. Obviously, I want to build something for him. I want to make sure that he's got a comfy spot in the back. I want to make it look cooler. I want to treat that rust. I have a paint job in mind. I have all kinds of things, none of which involves much money. And that's the whole purpose of this car, is that it is the budget Dog Snotter. It's there to be gross, but to be badass. And the reason I did it is because I want to show you guys that well, I'm saying that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I was just about to say, the reason I'm doing it is so I can show to you guys what you can do on a budget. That's not why I'm doing it at all. I'm doing it for me, because there's something wrong with me and I just can't help buying cars and modifying them. But I'm going to pass it off as the fact that this is for you. So I'm doing it for you. Now I'm going to show you that you don't have to have $1 million to be able to buy and modify a nice car. You can buy something for $500 and you can spend a little bit of time cleaning it up and modifying it and making it yours, and then you can enjoy it for hopefully years and years and years and years and years to come, especially if it's an agricultural Mercedes diesel. So anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember, go to swords.com, pick yourself up a little face mask, / Apple carrier. Give this video a thumbs up, that really helps. Subscribe if you aren't already, because I would love to see you here again, and you also need to be notified when I do the next videos modifying the Mercedes. The Mercedes race car is coming along. Behind the scenes at the moment there's nothing to film, but things are moving, so that's another thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned, you'll see. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you guys stay safe. Look after yourselves, be good human beings. We're all in this together, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. See ya.